Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brownstone. I'm your host, Dr. Michele, and you're listening to Numbers Don't Lie, where you learn to get out your feelings so you can make the best decisions for yourself, your family, and your business. Well, I'm so excited about this episode because my guest today has a topic that many business owners leave as an afterthought or an option. But let me tell you, this is not an optional thing. Just the way data should be integrated in every part of your business, your nonprofit, or just how you make decisions, so should customer service business owners. In this last few months, we've seen social media blow up with all the Keith Lee stuff and all these Atlanta restaurants talking about, no, this is our experience, how they may have good food, but their customer service is horrible. That should not be so. Even the hairstylists are taking a hit, okay? People are tired of just getting a decent service without the full experience, especially if you're charging full experience prices. So my guest, Angela Black, is going to talk to us about that today. I'm really excited because, first of all, Angela's a great person. She's very knowledgeable, very experienced, okay? Like she's one of those people that have done a lot of things. So that really brings everything to the table when she's talking about customer experience and customer service. So without further ado, guys, welcome to the Numbers Don't Lie stage, Angela Black. Hey,
Hello.
Angela.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining. Let's dive right in because I'm excited. Okay. I didn't mention the whole Atlanta stuff. The
I
whole
know.
internet was a buzz.
Yes, it was. The internet, national news, local news, newspaper. I mean, it was all over about that experience that he had. Yeah. So we can talk about that if you want. We can
We're
talk
gonna
about
talk,
it.
we may talk about it a little bit. So before we get into all that, could you tell the people a little more about yourself?
So again, my name is Angela Black. I am the customer experience queen. And the way that I started with customer service, man, I was 14 years old. That was my first job. I was a receptionist for a hairstylist, like you were just talking about. And it was my job to greet people when they walked in, to greet people on the phone, take appointments. That's what I did my first job. Then I went into retail. So I have been in retail sales and corporate life was all about sales. It was pharmaceutical sales, B2B sales, consultative sales, and those types of sales, that corporate level of sales requires a very high level of customer experience because the competition is fierce and you've
Mm.
got to set yourself apart from the other sales reps, right?
Wait, hold on.
So,
That's a bar, okay?
yes,
I don't know if
yeah.
y'all heard that. She said the competition is fierce, and that's in a lot of different industries, not just with hairstylists, not just for restaurants. There's always a competitor that has more money than you. So what's gonna set you apart? That's all. Go ahead, girl. I just had to say that. I think they missed it.
So I actually do a talk called Customer Service is a Unique Selling Proposition because it is, especially in today's society where, like you were saying earlier, we get mediocre service for high experience prices, right? And so if you give a high experience, it is a unique selling proposition because not a lot of people are doing that. Not a lot of businesses are doing that
Mm.
anymore. So but yeah, so I did sales all of my career. And over the span of my career, I was laid off 4 times. And the fourth time, I said, you know what? I'm tired of corporate America. I have enough knowledge, experience, expertise. I've trained sales reps, I've managed sales reps. I am going to start a business where I teach people how to provide a high level of customer experience so they can increase their profits through customer referrals, customer loyalty, and customer retention. So that's what I do now. And it has been amazing. There are companies out there, big and small, brand new companies, older companies, the whole gamut, organizations, universities. Um, there are a lot of different entities that are trying to improve their customer experience. And I didn't realize how in demand I was going to be, but I'm very grateful.
Listen, as a customer, we're all grateful. So I think everyone listening has had some type of bad customer service experience. I started out in customer service as well. I was a cashier at a grocery store, in a grocery store here in the South. And so that our management harped on that. Like they didn't play about that kind of stuff. So when I go to grocery stores now and it's just they, talking to each other, not greeting you, I'm like, hey, but
Let
it's
me tell
what
you,
people allow.
it is what people align. It's what you're taught. I was brought up
Mm-hmm.
during a time where it was paramount. So let me give you an example. My first retail job was at Macy's. I was 16, and we used to have to dress up for Macy's. We used to have to actually dress up. Like, we couldn't, I think now when you go to Macy's, I think they can wear black and white or something like that. And it really doesn't matter what the black and white is, as long as they wear black and white. Back then, I used to have to wear stockings, nice shoes, and making $7 an hour. Okay. I think it was
Yeah.
7, 5, something like that, an hour. So one time I was working in the children's department, and sometimes I'd have to work during the week when there was no traffic. And I'll have
Mm-hmm.
my elbow on the counter, just kind of standing there like this. I'm 16. I'm standing there like this. And the store manager, who to me at the time, because I'm 16 and this is my first job, he was like president of the United States, right? He's the store manager. He comes walking by and he sees me and he walks over to me and he whispers to me, "Don't ever let me catch you standing there like that again." And I stood up and I was like, okay, And what he was teaching me is I don't care how bored you are, you can't let the customer see you looking like that, right? Just that you're
Mm-hmm.
just bored, or you should be ready. So when someone walks in, you're ready to greet them and take care of whatever it is they need. And that's how I was raised, I guess you could say, in the customer service industry. And then my first pharmaceutical job was with Pfizer, which is the biggest pharmaceutical company in the world. They put us through 2 months of training. Two
Wow.
straight months. I actually had to leave my child and go and stay in a dorm for 2 months for training. And they instilled in us that customer experience and how you take care of those physicians. You do what you say you're going to do before you said you were going to do it, that kind of thing. So those are the things that I just did all throughout my corporate career, which caused me to be very successful and to, do well. But yeah, it's still in me today as I'm working with my clients, that high standard of making sure that your customers feel appreciated, valued, respected, wanted, because unfortunately it's rare nowadays.
I know. I was gonna say it's a lost art, and it reminds me when I was a teacher. I remember telling some of my students, like some of y'all. I mean, I don't think I said it like this, but what I was trying to say is, you don't have to be many of you don't have to be the best, but because you simply show up, are mannerable, are kind, are respectful, you're gonna go further than your peers because it's a lost art. Like just being respectful and being nice. I'm like that's basic stuff, but you'd be surprised. That's gonna be the thing that the customers remember. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let, let me because I do want to I want you to share at times. I think it's really important for people to know that if you are a business owner and you do have, maybe you haven't prioritized this and maybe you've had like bad reviews on your website. I want you to hear what Angela's going to share next. Okay. So turn it on up and share it real quick. So Angela, could you share a time when you rescued a business from a disgruntled customer?
So I was talking to somebody last night and she was telling me that she thinks I should change like how I describe myself or how I tell people what it is that I do, because people hear customer service and everybody thinks they can do it, because pretty much everybody's worked in retail or at a bank or something or a hotel or something, and they feel like, well, I can do what you do, right?
Mm.
But what they don't realize is there's so much more that I do besides helping people develop policies around customer service. I also do client relationship management. And when I say client relationship management, I mean my clients. So small businesses, I help them manage their reputation. And part of that is dealing with negative reviews. How do you respond to those, right? Because the way you respond to those definitely has an impact on your reputation of your business. So back to the Keith Lee story that you were talking about when Keith Lee came to town. And for people who don't know, Keith Lee is a food blogger, a vlogger on TikTok, millions of followers, multi-millions of views. And he came to Atlanta. He had some great experiences at some restaurants and at some restaurants, not so great. there's some rules that some of the restaurants have here that he had never experienced before. And he said that. He was like, Atlanta has some weird rules, but there are reasons for that. Restaurants have had people that would place orders and not come pick it up, things like that. So they had to put these rules in place, which was inconvenient for Keith Lee. One of the things I like about Keith Lee, though, is he's very fair. He said in his reviews, I didn't have a good experience. That doesn't mean you won't. Judge it for yourself. But the problem is the way that the restaurants responded, one of them in particular, how it responded to his negative review. They thought it would be funny just to pretend like they didn't know who he was, where everyone in the restaurant industry knows who Keith Lee is. So they pretended like they didn't know who he was. And their video went viral, which made Keith Lee's video go even more viral. And it got all of this bad press. They ended up having to take their video down. And there were so many people that said, I will never go to that restaurant. And it's because of the way they handled the negative review. So one of the things I do when I'm working on behalf of my clients to deal with a negative review is I look at the review from the standpoint of the customer. Because we've all been in a situation where we were angry, frustrated, felt less than, felt disrespected. And I know that feeling. So I try to put myself in the shoes of the customer. I had a client who the customer, she owned a product-based business, and she sent the product to the customer, but it got to the customer later than what the customer thought it should have gotten to them. And it missed a birthday. The person had ordered it for a gift for someone's birthday. So she gave them a bad review, a 1-star review. And so my client, the business owner, reached out to me. How do I handle this? So I called the customer on behalf of my client. And I said, I'm the VP of customer service for my client. I want to speak with you and say, listen, we are so sorry that this happened. I explained why the delivery was a little bit later. I wasn't making an excuse, but I explained it so that she could understand. And then I said, we are devastated that your birthday gift, didn't make it on time and that the person didn't get their gift. Not only are we going to give you a refund, but we are also going to send you something else that you want to try to make up for this. Will that make it okay for you? And she said, oh, wow, absolutely. And then she said, no, I don't even want you to send me something for free. You don't have to do that. It's okay. I said, no, we want to make this right for you. She then sent an email to my client and said she had never had customer service like that before. She said she was going to change her review, which she did, to a 5-star review. And she then told her mom about it. She probably told other people about it. And she and her mother decided they wanted to physically drive to the the actual business, not just order online. They wanted to go shop at the business. And my client was just floored. My client was like, Angela, this is the person that you turned around for us. I cannot believe this person gave us a 1-star review and it went to 5. It is personal touches, like just giving a phone call. I think everybody's gotten so used to the electronic age of emails and text messaging, and it's so impersonal, especially when someone feels slighted as a customer. So those are the opportunities that you need. Those are the times that you need to take the opportunity to call someone and have a one-on-one discussion with them to try to see how you can make it right. Don't do it over the email, because things get lost in translation in written form. But when I talked to that woman, she could hear it in my voice when I said, I am so sorry that we messed things up for your birthday. I understand how that feels. What can we do to make it right? She heard it in my voice. It's different when you are on a phone with someone as opposed to email. Let's just think about this. What if you flew on an airline and something went wrong? Maybe they put you in a middle seat and you were supposed to have a window seat, or maybe you paid extra for the Comfort Plus, but they didn't give you that seat, or something went wrong and you complained. What if the CEO of that airline called you and said, listen, I'm so sorry, we messed up, and I am the CEO of this organization. I wanted to reach out to you personally and say, I'm sorry we messed up. You are a valued customer. You've been with us for 15 years. What can we do to make this right? Let me give you a free voucher for a flight within the United States, whatever, right? That CEO could do that to 10 customers a month.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine the social media frenzy that would occur? Because everybody would get on social media and
Yep.
say, oh, the CEO of so and so company called me, and let me tell you what they did to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's free advertising.
Free. Free. Now look,
So, yeah.
real quick. Let me show the people this, but I think that makes it's a good segue into, because you talked about sales. So that's gonna segue right over to that next conversation. All right, y'all, real quick to listen to this. Did you know that data-driven organizations were 19 times more profitable? 19. You heard me right. Perhaps you're asking, what is data-driven and how do I become one of those organizations? I'm so glad you asked. I want you to go take a quiz. It's a simple, quick quiz to help you assess if you are, in fact, one of those organizations. Head over to mogulbeginnings.com/data into dollars quiz now. That's mogulbeginnings.com. You can just go to mogulbeginnings.com and it'll show you the data into dollars quiz. Take it now. You'll see if you're on your way to 19xing your profitability. You're listening to Numbers Don't Lie on KCCR Cityscape. We hope you're enjoying the tunes and all the jams. Make sure you visit our website over at brownstoneworldwide.com to learn about all things Brownstone. You can check out Brownstone Living Magazine and all the great things that we have on the website, as well as the shop. You just got to head over to the website, brownstoneworldwide.com. Okay. It was getting juicy. It was getting juicy. Okay. Now let's pick up. So you were talking about the response, and you turn things around, and the CEO calling, and how that now they have free advertising, and free advertising translates to
Money, money, money.
okay.
That's right. That's right.
So let's go ahead. I don't know if you had any more thoughts. I did want to jump over to that portion, because I think that's a part that people don't understand. Like, it's not a waste of time. It is an investment to have a great experience. It may cost you a little, may have to spend a little money, but that's a great investment in your business.
So here's the thing. You're right. You may have to spend a little money, right? But you don't have to spend as much money investing in your current customers as you do advertising to new ones.
That's a good one.
You spend 5 times as much money advertising, trying to get new people who don't know you. That whole know, like, and trust factor is huge.
Mm-hmm.
When you already have customers that know you, they like your product or your service, they trust you. Those are the people that you need to focus on, because they can help you sell your business.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I said, if that CEO called 10 people in a month, and I think, as busy as a big CEO of a huge conglomerate might be, they can find time to call 10 customers in a month. And if they did that, it just would just give them free publicity. It would go viral. They would become known for providing great customer service, right? And that would drive customers to them. And that is something that my little hand gesture, that is something that they didn't have to spend money on.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to get ads for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, you may have to spend a little bit of money on investing in a good CRM, making sure that you have everything automated so that people don't feel like you've forgotten about them. Maybe hiring a dedicated person to handle all of your customer support issues or customer support questions. Somebody who can cross the T's and dot the I's and make sure that nobody is left behind in with your customers, right? So you might have to spend money doing that, but in doing so, you've elevated the customer experience to a point that it makes people want to come and spend more money with you, and that's the whole goal. You literally could, just blast out your revenue goals for the year if you focus on the customers you have, if you encourage them to spend more money with you, if you encourage them to refer your business to other people, their friends and family. Because let me tell you, before I even became the customer experience queen, I would go to restaurants. I live in Atlanta, and I'd go to restaurants and different activities, and I'd put it on social media, because I'm just thinking, I just want to share this with people I know, so that if they're looking for a good place to go eat or a good place to go have fun, now they know somewhere new to go.
Mm-hmm.
sharing it. And I really didn't pay attention to if people were watching it or not. I was just sharing it. Slowly but surely, people would come up to me and say, because you said go to this restaurant, I went.
Oh.
Because they know me, they trust that what I'm telling them, Angela must know what she's talking about, right? This was way before I was in the customer service field of being a consultant. Well, now that I'm a consultant, people really do listen, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
when EF Hutton talks, people listen. That's me, now. But it goes for everybody. If you tell your friends and family that you had a great experience somewhere, they know, like, and trust you. They're going to do
Yep.
what you said do.
That's good.
So if you focus on customer loyalty, that loyalty turns into referrals,
Mm-hmm.
which turns into money for you. And you didn't have to spend any money getting that person to refer somebody to you.
That's
You just
good.
made the experience so good that they wanted to tell people about it.
That's good. Because you mentioned something. You said, what'd you say? It's 5 times. Is it 5 times easier? It's 5 times more likely to um have
It's
a repeat
more
customer.
expensive.
5 times
Five
more
times
expensive to get a new one.
to get a new one. Yes.
And that's in line with the McKinsey Global Institute. They say, so I say, and I know you guys just saw, I said data driven organizations are 19 times more profitable, but they're also, I believe, it's 6 times more likely to retain customers, and maybe they have a 13% more likely to get new ones over other ones that aren't paying attention to that kind of stuff. And I think that's important to note. So I want to talk a little bit more, like, what are some of those key metrics that companies should focus on when we're talking about customer satisfaction and loyalty?
So one of the top ones is churn. Churn is inevitable. So churn is the number of customers that stop doing business with you over a certain period of time. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say in 2022 you had 100 customers. Then in 2023 you had, let's say you had 150 customers in 2023, but maybe 75 of them were new. So that
Mm-hmm.
means 25 from 2022 didn't return.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
had 75 from 2022, 75 new ones again in 2023. But that means that 25 people from 2022 didn't return. You got to figure out, why didn't they return? Okay. So when you look at churn and you say, some of it is inevitable. People die, people move, people just decide, okay, I'm just going to buy from you one time, I'm not coming back. That's
Mm-hmm.
inevitable. But if your churn rate starts to go up from year to year or from quarter to quarter, then you have to say to yourself, okay, what's going on? Let me contact these
Yes.
people and find out, is their experience, something going wrong with the experience? Is the value of my product or service not there? Is the competition offering something of a greater value? Is it less expensive? Is it better than what I'm giving them? You got to
Mm-hmm.
figure out why people are leaving. So churn is one of the metrics that you need to watch. The other, I call them KPIs, key performance indicators. The other one is customer lifetime value. So
Mm-hmm.
over the lifetime that your customers are spending money with you, first of all, you got to know what's the average amount of time that a customer is going to stay with your business. And for newer businesses, that takes time, right? But if you've been in
Mm-hmm.
business years, you have a lot of data that you could look at to determine, do customers normally stay with my business 3 years, 2 years, a year, 5 years? And during that time, how many times do they shop with us on average? How much money do they spend with us over that time frame? The goal is to increase that customer lifetime value.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that? You increase customer loyalty. You do things that makes the customer want to continue to come back and spend more money with you. So you might upsell
Mm-hmm.
during sale, right? So you may say, you know what, Michele, I know you like this particular fragrance. Did you know not only do we have it in the lotion, but we also have it in, a hairspray, or, a room spray or whatever, right? So you upsell to try to get their overall amount that they're spending over the lifetime to increase for you. So you need to keep
Mm-hmm.
track of that. But that also goes into the average order value, the
Mm-hmm.
AOV. So you try to increase that. And that's the same thing with the upselling. So let me give you a good real life example.
Yeah.
Bath and Body Works. This is like my favorite.
And everybody knows Bath and Body Works.
Bath and Body Works. All right. So, and a matter of fact, I usually keep it on my desk, but I don't have it on my desk right now. They sent me a new coupon yesterday. So I am part of their loyalty program, which every business should have a loyalty program of some sort. But I'm part of their loyalty program. And because of that, I get coupons. I think it's like once a month or sometimes once every other month. A lot of times those coupons are like 20% off your total order.
I like that.
Not only do I get the coupons, but I also have an app. So on my phone in the morning, a little notification will come down and say, today only, this is on sale or that's on sale, right? So I only buy, I don't really care for their lotions and stuff. I love their candles. That's my thing. I'm the candle thing. I love, but I refuse to pay $24 for one candle.
Okay.
So when a little notification comes up and says, today only, online only, candles are $12.95, I go get my 20% coupon.
Right.
Because now my candle is $10. And then I order as many candles as I can or want whatever, and I use my coupon. And then I call my friend. I'm like, girl, today is the day. It's on sale today. You better use your coupon. So guess what? They got a higher average order value from me. Because come on, we all know those candles don't cost $24.
No.
And they're still making a huge profit selling them for $10, right? So that's just the way retail and capitalism works, right? We mark things up so high, so when we put it on sale, you think you're getting a discount, but we're still making a huge profit. So I think I'm getting a deal, right? So I'm like, oh, let me get these candles for $10. So now, and then the other thing they'll say, I'll put like I might buy 7 candles. I'm spending $70. I put it in my shopping cart, and then I get ready to check out, and it says, if you spend only $20 more, you get free shipping.
I'm like, ooh.
And the shipping is like $7.95, right?
Why not
like,
as well?
Yeah, because that's almost a free candle, right? I mean,
right.
So then I'm like, well, let me spend. So then I spend more money. So guess what? My average order value is going up, right? So now I've spent like $100 on some candles. And then I call my friend and tell her to spend money on some candles. Free advertising. Yep. I'm a loyal customer. I know, like, and trust these candles because I've been using them forever, right? So I'm telling other people about it. And they don't get much. I don't have churn with them because I've been with them a long time, and I get my candles from Bath and Body Works. Yeah. So that is a real life example of increasing the average order value, the customer lifetime value, of the importance of developing loyalty among your customers and how it can work so that they sell your business for you.
That's good. And Angela mentioned a few things. We're going to wrap, guys, but I didn't want to say this. Angela mentioned a few things about knowing your churn rate and understanding some of your key performance indicators. That means you have to be tracking them. And that's a part of what we do at Mogul Beginners Ed Consulting, which is help you track them. I like a nice CEO dashboard, so that way it's in your face at all times. But you have to know those metrics in order to know what you need to do next. Because if your customers are leaving and you don't know until it's too late, you may not have a business this time next year. And so it's so important to not just only do good business and sell a good product. It really is to incorporate that customer experience, track it to make sure you're always staying on top and even growing. And you can always make the next best decision. That's really what the power of data is positioning you to make the next best decision. Angela, I have so enjoyed this conversation. I can listen to you tell so many stories about this kind of stuff. But could you please tell the people where they can find you and how they can connect with you?
Sure. So my website is www.angelablackcrc.com. The easiest way to get to my website really is www.thecxqueen.com. That's the easiest way to get to my website. On social media, every social media platform, it is the Customer Queen, THEE, Customer Queen.com, not .com, but the Customer Queen. That's how you find me on social media. But yeah, that's the easiest way to get in contact with me. You can schedule a free 15-minute discovery call with me to find out the ways that I can help you develop policies around customer loyalty. Like, you really need to sit down and plan that out for your business.
Absolutely.
It does not need to be an afterthought. It needs to be a strategy. It needs to be something that you take seriously. And if you don't know how to do that, that's something I can help you do. So policies around various things within your customer journey are needed in your business. Not just when you
Mm-hmm.
when you do a business plan, you should have policies around customer retention, customer loyalty, how you're going to wow your customers. What is your overall customer service strategy? What is your customer journey? How are you going to watch churn, and what are you going to do if you realize your churn numbers are increasing? You need to
Mm.
plan all of that out. How are you going to deal with difficult customers when they come? Not if,
Right.
when they come. You need to plan that out so that you're not responding from an emotional standpoint.
That's
When someone
good.
calls your baby ugly, that's what I say. When someone calls your baby ugly, people start to respond from an emotional
Mm-hmm.
standpoint. They get defensive. If you have policies already in place with how to deal with that, you'll already know what you want to say in a professional way
Yeah.
and in a way that will retain that customer. So all of those policies need to be in place, and most businesses don't think about that, how to do that.
And they will now. So make
Yeah.
sure you connect with Angela on social media, or head to her website at thecxqueen.com. And guys, make sure you connect with me. You can find me on social media as well at Mogul Beginnings. That's MOGUL. I post things, great stuff all the time. I so appreciate you guys for joining me today. I hope you guys listen to this again and share this out. But have a great rest of your week. And until next time, see you
Thank
guys.
you.